Hello and welcome to all. AIIMAS, a non-profit company incorporated under Section 8 of the Companies Act 2013, was set up by its founder with the intent to promote, spread awareness and educate on the alternative dispute resolution (ADR) mechanism, including mediation, arbitration, international commercial arbitration, conciliation, mutual evaluation, etc. As AIIMAS turns 4 and expands its horizon today through our YouTube channel, we launch a new endeavor, that is the AIIMAS Law Lounge. In an ocean of content available online and on everything under the sun and beyond, the AIIMAS Law Lounge aims to be a channel and a medium which acts as a Sherpa to the young lawyer and law students who are looking to scale new heights of the legal arena. The AIIMAS Law Lounge will connect you with who's who of the legal and corporate world and will give you a peek into what all it took for them to excel and succeed. It is our delight that the inaugural episode of the AIIMAS official YouTube channel showcases the journey of an individual who started as a first-generation lawyer and reached the professional peaks that we all dream of. Without further ado, we present to you our first episode of the AIIMAS Law Lounge. Though Sir needs no introduction, he is a pioneer, a maestro of this field, but a little word for the viewers. Mr. Sanjay Jain is one of the India's leading lawyers who started his journey in the legal field in 1985. He was designated as a senior advocate by the Delhi High Court in 2005, and in July 2014, Sir was appointed as the Additional Solicitor General of India for the Delhi High Court. Soon after, in January 2019, Mr. Jain became the Additional Solicitor General for the Supreme Court, which role he served with distinction until June 2023. Mr. Sanjay Jain is a multifaceted personality with diverse interests. While libraries are the hallmark of lawyer, but Sir is a bibliophile who takes pride in his extensive library with books covering a myriad of subjects. Not only that, Sir, apart from being a philanthropist, is also very passionate about art, and his passion for art is evident in his impressive collection spread across his residence and workplace. Thank you so much, Sir, for giving us your precious time and being here for our inaugural conversation. We are really looking forward. So my first question is, at what point of life you decided to become a lawyer and chose this as a profession?
See, ordinarily, when one joins the LLB course, it is presumed that some degree of thought would have gone into. So, but I was not very particular that eventually I would join as a lawyer only. I took up law purely because I liked the subject, and I believe that education need not necessarily be confined to or aimed towards monetization eventually. So whatever you gain by way of education is something which is important to make you a better person and evolve as a person. So I eventually decided to join law when my Dean of Law Faculty inspired and guided me when I was having a little bit of confused state of mind as to whether I should go for competitive examination or I should join journalism or pursue further mass communication. He said that you have been my student for 3 years, and I believe, and I have also seen you as president of the Law Center, and I believe that you are meant for the courts. So he pointed out from his office that straight road goes to the society. You are not doing anything but the legal profession. So that resolved my conundrum and I joined the law.
So speaking about the guidance that you got while you were studying for it, have you had any guidance or mentorship that significantly influenced your career in your field while you were practicing?
See, the point is that in my family or in my acquaintance, there was not anyone in legal profession. So the mentorship could have come only by chance. So I realized it quite early, and I took it upon myself to be mentored rather than waiting that somebody may come and mentor me. So starting from my first senior, whose office I joined and remained there for 6 months, Mr. Satish Chand Sharda, and thereafter I looked upon many established lawyers of my days, my early days, like Mr. Arun Mohan, Mr. Arun Jaitley, Mr. Mukul Rohgi, Mr. Amarjit Singh Chandyo, and several others who were the doyens in the profession at that time or later point in time. So I tried to imbibe the good things which I in my perception were good things.
So, what are the values and the skills that one should carry to sustain in this field? Like you said, you imbibe few good skills. So, what are the skills that you should imbibe to sustain in this field?
See, I feel that this is a profession where one needs to be very structured, organized, and focused. One need not be impatient. Rome was not built in a day. So, shortcuts are something which need to be avoided. Shortcuts will eventually lead you to a situation which I would call it a ditch. And I can explain or I can expand what ditch means for me. That is, if you are looking for shortcuts success by comparing yourself to others, that look, he has gone up to that level, I have not been able to reach there, or that I wanted to earn this kind of money by this time, I have not been able to do, because that leaves you, or that rather drives you towards adopting unethical or unacceptable methods, which in the long run, in bar, nothing escapes the attention of your fellow colleagues or the judges. So therefore, if you want to sustain yourself in the profession, you have to avoid 5 elements, that is despair, insecurity, temper, comparison, and hype. Because if you create hype within your own mind, then it will lead you to illusion. Let hype be created by others, not by you. So that is what I believe. And further, if I what we speak as to what skills are required, the skill set is developed over a period of time. But there are some essentials which I would call as 7 P's of the profession, which need to be inculcated, in my humble opinion, by every lawyer. And that is passion. If you don't have passion, you should not be there. I mean, if you can't be there is a secondary thing. You should not be there at all. So the passion, patience, perseverance, preparation, which is very important. An unprepared lawyer will be a disaster for his clients as well as for himself and for the court. And then punctuality, perceptibility, and precision. You can't be going on and consuming court's precious time. You should learn the art to put your arguments with precision. That's the 7 P's I would recommend.
So you spoke about P's. I would like to talk about those 2 P's. One is passion and one is patience. So passion, I heard while I was studying, someone told me who was in the field, that one should love this collarband. One should have a great deal of love for this collarband to sustain in this field, and which influenced me. One, in legal field, I felt whoever is very passionate about the collarband, about the legal study, is going to sustain well. And the other P, patience, in our generation, it's very hard to find. We all look for quick and easy success. So to have that patience while looking around our, equally, our peers who were studying with us in our school and our college, and they're choosing different paths and leading heights. So it's very difficult to have that patience while comparing. So I think the answer made me also have a lot of revelation. So the next question is, what was the one time when your career challenged you, and if yes, how did you mitigate that?
See, the biggest challenge came when Indian economy opened up post Mr. Narasimha Rao, Mr. Manmohan Singh combined regime in 1991. That phenomenon led to sort of a growth in the profession, and clients started preferring the law firms. So for single lawyers like me, first generation single lawyer, a litigation lawyer, it came as a challenge. Suddenly one realized that the big ticket matters or more intense matters are going to the firms. So that was a challenge. So that is the time when I realized that I have to reinvent the wheels. And reinventing the wheels was that I reshaped my profile as a lawyer who is available for arguments or cross-examination in Delhi, because it's particularly relevant. I mean, in Bombay, this specialization is already there. In Delhi, this kind of a specialization was not there. This specialization, in the sense that lawyer is meant only for a particular lawyer is only drafting, or a particular lawyer is good only in cross-examination, or a particular lawyer is good in arguing this kind of matter. Lawyers in Delhi were all rolled into one. So that was the time for me to reinvent the wheels and also to upgrade my skill set, my knowledge. And since I was the lawyer for a couple of multinational companies who were using my services only as a litigator, I impressed upon them that I am good enough also for other fields like drawing a concept note for a new business strategy, the legal compliances, legal due diligence, drafting the agreements. So all these things I can do. So I met the challenge by upgrading my skills, realizing that the scenario is changing and that I have to project myself different from the conventional projection with which I started my career.
So, is work-life balance important for young and upcoming legal professionals, or should the focus be entirely on excelling the field law? How to maintain a work-life balance?
See, work-life balance is very important for professionals, because if you don't manage the balance, it will make you a burnout case very fast. In the sense that within 15 years or so, you might get a feeling that I am feeling burnt out, exhausted. It may also lead you to a despair kind of a feeling, and you may like to leave the profession in between. So if you are creating a balance, and how do you create a balance depends upon individual. If an individual has any hobby, he should not give it up. And if an individual is open, he should be open to acquire more hobbies and taste for other things. One can create a balance by doing things which helps that individual unwind. So if you are able to take some time, and that time, the extent of that time is not important. Maybe half an hour, maybe 15 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending upon your work schedule. So if one doesn't get pressurized that, okay, I don't have 2 hours, so I will not be able to do anything other than the professional work. That is an incorrect approach. For instance, I keep 3 books which I read simultaneously. So if the subject is very serious and intense, I will pick up that book only when I have a greater time slot. There is a lighter book which I can pick up anytime. Even if I read 10 minutes, it is okay. So the balancing factor is a state of mind, and it is extremely important that a person does it, because it also adds to your overall growth as a person. Otherwise, you will end up only as a unidimensional person. And to be a successful lawyer, you have to be a multidimensional person.
My next question is, this interview focuses on young lawyers and professionals who are new to the career. Often in the beginning days, it can feel like we're treading waters. In our early days, how to stay motivated, stay affirmative and hopeful?
It is all about keeping your expectations in control. It is all about spanning out your goals and working a structured schedule to achieve those goals. If you do things systematically, again without falling in any comparison, because most of us go haywire only when we start comparing ourselves or comparing our journey with a journey of a colleague or a contemporary professional. Different people have different background. As a first generation lawyer, suppose I am a first generation lawyer, then I in any case need not compare myself with a lawyer who is not first generation, because he is maintaining a building which was built by somebody else and he has gotten a legacy. You are maintaining a building which you built. So therefore, the situation and the ecosystem is bound to be different. So comparison doesn't work. You think that whatever has come your way, you have to deliver that to the best of your capacity. And if you focus in doing your work with 7 P's that I mentioned, precision, etc., and then it will automatically follow suit, that things are falling in place and you will be able to overcome that state of mind when you are uncertain, when you are feeling disheartened. This is all temporary. You have to keep yourself motivated and you have to back yourself up. If you yourself don't back your skills, your talent, your passion, then nobody else will be able to do it. So this has to come from within. So it's a constant introspection is required. And that is why I'm saying that one should not fall prey to hype. People may come and say that, oh, you are Nariman. So we should not, get any false notions about you being somebody else. You are yourself. So you don't have to become somebody else. And there is enough space in this profession. As you said, ocean. It is an ocean. Everybody has a place. So you have to realize your own potential. You have to identify, recognize your own ability or skill set, and then you should motivate yourself towards greater heights. And for this also, I can tell somebody that there are 5 R's which one can apply in one's life as a principle. That is, first you read, then reflect, and then recognize that where lies your talent or your priority. So recognition is very important. And then you have to respect that. You have to respect yourself. You have to respect what you have chosen. You have to respect the opposite party. You have to respect the client. You have to respect the system. You have to respect the judge. Don't fall in this habit of criticizing everyone. We have lost a case. Oh, judge didn't understand. There is something else. There is something more than what meets the eyes. The other party was able to influence the system in some way. So all these thoughts might occur in your mind. You have to banish them, because these are all negative catalysts. They will only pull you down. So even if there is no success, because legal profession doesn't mean that in every matter you have to win, because win is again a subjective and a relative thing. If you are able to reduce the pain of your client, that is also a win. If you are able to reduce the penalty which your client might have suffered, or the degree, or the extent of degree your client might have suffered, you have been able to reduce it, it is also a victory. If you have been able to achieve a compromise for your client, that is also a victory. The resolution of a dispute with compromise, with mediation is also a victory. So victory is a matter of perception. Victory doesn't always mean that the judge will write a judgment in your favor, saying that every point which you have argued are accepted and every point which have been argued by the other side are rejected. This fantastic situation may not happen in everybody's life or in everyday's life. It may happen once in a while, but not every day. So you have to accept that.
So this is the last segment of the interview. You have punditry in this field. What are a few advices you would like to proffer to our young professional engineers? Anything, sir?
In my view, the advice would be that the legal profession today is very robust. It has multiple streams. Distinct from the time when we started our profession, when there were hardly any streams except a money recovery suit or a accident claim or a matrimonial matter, custody dispute, a partition matter or a landlord-tenant dispute. These were the major areas of disputes, apart from a few commercial matters which one would have, like apart from recovery, some injunctions, etc. But from those times, the landscape has completely changed. Now you can have a legal practice before so many of regulators. To begin with, we had only SEBI. Now there are a number of industry regulators. Insurance sector is regulated by IRDA. You have what earlier used to be MRTP is not Competition Commission, which much wider area of function, and there is so much of advocacy required there. Then you have in petroleum and natural gas sector, you have PNGRB board, you have APTEL, electricity power sectors, electricity commissions, state electricity commissions, and then what used to be CLB is now NCLT. You have IBC practice. So there are n number of new fields which have opened. So you need not necessarily be a lawyer, because even if I visualize about 15 years back or 15 to 20 years back, in the beginning of this century, even after the advent of economic reforms, the practice was largely confined to the injunction matters or the intellectual property disputes or the bank recoveries and the corporate disputes of mismanagement and operation, etc. But now things have changed. The regulators have become proactive, very, very active. And then the economic offences is another field which has opened big time and has opened huge amount of avenues for the lawyers. For instance, you see the number of enforcement directorate prosecutions. So earlier, economic offences were there, but FERA, FEMA, etc., COFEPOSA, these were a few enactments under which most of the prosecutions would happen. But now, one FIR is registered, and that leads to a ED coming into picture, and we have NIA, and we have Unlawful Activity Prevention Act. So the criminal practice has grown manyfold beyond what used to be an IPC-based practice, that offences against body or offence pertaining to the property, cheating, etc., are the only field of practice in criminal law. That was the perception that we gathered when we started. And but today, if you even if you want to sit in a very posh chamber and you want to maintain your elite style also, even then you can very easily blend criminal practice in your system. Because earlier the perception was that if you have to be a criminal lawyer, then you have to learn to sit with those persons who are prone to commit crimes, and therefore there is nothing sophisticated about it. You have to be very abusive and blunt with them. Only then you will be able to maintain or retain them as clients. That situation is gone.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. We have learned a great deal. I have learned a great deal while sitting here. I can't imagine that what people who look at the interview would learn. Thank you so much.